Most men have never heard of it, but there is an ancient secret that separates the weak from the powerful, the lost from the right, the ordinary from the extraordinary. While modern society preaches instant gratification and wasted energy, great figures in history understood that true power lies in the retention and transmutation of vital energy. What happens when a man decides to preserve his strength rather than waste it? The result is a level of magnetism, mental clarity, and goals that few achieve. But here's what no one tells you. This practice isn't just about abstinence, it's about channeling that energy into something much bigger. Men who master retention develop undeniable charisma, a striking presence, and an internal strength capable of changing their own reality. And the most impressive, modern science is beginning to confirm what ancient traditions have known for centuries. The path is not easy, but the results are unquestionable. In this video, you will understand the 7 advances of sex retention and discover how this practice can completely transform your life. Each step is an evolution, a key that opens new doors for those who are ready to unlock their true potential. But before the obligations, I need to warn you. Once you understand this, there will be no more excuses. You will see the truth and, from then on, the decision will be completely yours. Throughout history, several spiritual traditions have understood that sexual energy is not just a biological impulse, but a vital force capable of transforming a man's life. Taoism, Tantra, and even ancient esoteric orders teach that semen retention is not about repression, but rather about channeling this energy to a higher level of consciousness. The Creator of the universe gave us the ability to choose where we place our energy, and those who understand this live with more peace and threats. Many realize the waste of energy only when they face symptoms of exhaustion, mental fatigue, lack of motivation, and even an inexplicable emptiness. Retention is not a whim, but a tool for those who want more light in their lives. Just as a dammed river gains strength and can generate electricity, a man who masters this practice accumulates internal power. He becomes more magnetic, more focused, and more resilient in the face of life's challenges. The most interesting thing is that this practice is not limited to the spiritual sphere. Today, studies already indicate that retention can positively impact testosterone, increasing energy and physical performance. Imagine a warrior who learns to contain his strength to release it at the right moment. This is the principle of retention. But before reaching this level, it is necessary to understand how great minds in history used this technique to achieve extraordinary feats. History is full of funny minds and legendary athletes who attributed their success to withholding sex. Nikola Tesla, one of humanity's greatest inventors, believed that conserving this energy would help him keep his mind clear and focused. Mike Tyson, at the height of his career, spent years practicing the hold as he knew it increased his strength and aggression in the ring. Muhammad Ali also changed this philosophy, avoiding relationships before fights to keep his energy at its peak. These men weren't just depriving themselves, they were channeling their strength into something greater, something that made them special. But the benefits are not limited to public figures. Ordinary men who adopt this practice report a burst of energy, more discipline, and even a natural increase in confidence. They felt a deeper connection to their own essence, as if they were rediscovering a power that had always been within them. Science is beginning to confirm this. Higher levels of retention can increase dopamine production and improve brain health, bringing more clarity and balance. In a world where everything seems designed to drain energy, learning to conserve it is an act of wisdom. The impact is also reflected in the way a man relates to the world. When sexual energy is not wasted, it manifests itself in personal magnetism and charisma. People around them notice this change, not because someone said so, but because they feel it. This explains why so many men who practice retention report more respect, opportunities, and even improved social interactions. But to get to that point, you first need to make a conscious decision: retain or continue in the same routine as always. It all starts with a choice. Most men have even considered the possibility of retaining their vital energy, as they have been conditioned to believe that frequent ejaculation is natural and necessary. But is the exact opposite true? What if conserving this strength brought more peace, more light, and more threats to life? Making this decision is not just a matter of self-control, but self-mastery. The man who decides to withhold is not just denying a momentary pleasure, but telling the universe that he wants something greater, that he wants to transform his life into something extraordinary. The decision to have it can be challenging at first, as it goes against everything modern society teaches. Entertainment, culture, and even conventional science encourage constant liberation, But the great men of history knew that this was not the best choice. The moment a man decides to break this cycle, he feels an immediate change. His mind begins to strengthen, his discipline becomes firmer, and his vital energy begins to accumulate. It's like planting a seed in fertile soil, knowing that it will soon grow into something great. And what can you do to strengthen this decision? First, it is essential to clarify the reason. Anyone looking for more energy, magnetism, and mental clarity needs to understand that this will not come without effort. Creating a plan, setting goals, and even writing down the reasons why you chose it can be a differentiator. Additionally, finding activities that channel this energy, such as physical exercise, meditation, and creative projects, helps you stay focused. After all, deciding to retain is not just avoiding something, but directing that force towards something greater. And that's where the real challenge begins, unlearning what was taught and rebuilding a new mindset. From an early age, society imposes a narrative about immediate pleasure, creating a cycle of instant gratification that depletes vital energy without most realizing it. Films, advertisements, and even social media reinforce the idea that constant ejaculation is something harmless, when, in fact, it is one of the biggest wastes of inner strength. Overcoming this conditioning requires a change in mindset. Anyone who desires more peace, light, and prosperity needs to understand that every time they give in to these impulses, they are giving part of their power to the external world, instead of using it to build a stronger and more balanced reality. Reprogramming your mind to see the value of retention doesn't happen overnight. The first step is to become aware of the pitfalls. Realize how the media manipulates desires, how marketing exploits weaknesses, and how excess stimuli steals focus and willpower. A good strategy to break the cycle is to dopamine detox, that is, drastically reduce the consumption of content that feeds these impulses, such as stimulating videos and social networks that drain energy. The mind needs time to readjust to a new reality, and this only happens when there is a conscious departure from old habits. In addition to reducing external influences, it is essential to replace destructive habits with habits that strengthen discipline and self-control. Practices such as intense physical exercise, reading books that expand the mind, The Power of the Subconscious, by Joseph Murphy, is a great example, and meditation helps reprogram the brain. The secret is to fill the space left by old conditions with activities that raise energy and bring concrete results. After all, true transformation happens when the mind frees itself from the invisible chains that society imposes. And as this process progresses, the body begins to react in surprising ways. When a man begins retention, his body goes into a natural detoxification process. 4 years, vital energy was wasted, and now the organism needs to adjust to this new reality. This can generate temporary symptoms, such as headaches, changes in sleep, irritability, and even digestive changes. These signs are not a problem, but rather an indication that the body is eliminating toxins and rebalancing itself. It's like cleaning a river that has been polluted for years. At first, the dirt comes to the surface, but soon the water flows again clearer and stronger. To facilitate this phase, it is essential to adopt habits that accelerate the cleansing of the body. Diet plays a fundamental role. Reducing the consumption of processed foods, sugars, and processed meats can alleviate symptoms and optimize recovery. Drinking plenty of structured water and including detox teas, such as dandelion tea or more, can help with internal purification. In addition, practices such as sunbathing and physical exercise help eliminate toxins and stimulate energy balance. This process is not only physical, but also mental and spiritual, bringing more peace and light along the way. Over time, detox gives way to a feeling of clarity and vigor that many have never experienced before. The mind becomes sharper, the body more resistant, and vital energy begins to circulate more intensely. It is a time of transition, where the organism leaves behind old patterns and embraces a new reality. This stage requires patience and discipline, but those who persist soon realize that the effort is worth it. After all, with a clean and strengthened body, vital energy can be harnessed in its purest form, leading to a significant increase in vitality and motivation. With detox complete, a new level of energy begins to manifest. Men who practice retention often report a significant increase in daily energy, as if an internal generator had been activated. Tasks that previously seemed exhausting are now performed more easily, and the mind becomes more focused and agile. This renewed energy is not just a psychological effect. The body actually begins to operate in a state of greater efficiency. Nutrition strengthens the nervous system, regulates hormones, and provides a continuous feeling of vigor, as if the force of the creator of the universe were flowing more intensely. This new vitality translates into many aspects of everyday life. Performance at work has improved, the desire to exercise increases, and creativity reaches unprecedented levels. Great spiritual masters have always associated retention with the ability to produce and create at higher levels. This is not just an esoteric theory. Even high-level athletes and entrepreneurs realize the benefits of conserving their vital energy. A simple test can prove this. Try practicing continuously for 30 days and notice the difference in motivation and physical and mental performance. The result speaks for itself. And the most interesting thing is that this energy is not limited to the physical field. Personal magnetism begins to intensify, and social interactions gain a new dynamic. The presence of those who master this practice becomes stronger, and the people around them realize this unconsciously. This is the beginning of a characteristic that has already been trained by ancient traditions. When vital energy is preserved, it transforms into a power of attraction that goes far beyond the ordinary. But to fully understand this effect, you need to delve deeper into the next stage: the increase in magnetism and charisma. With continued retention, something curious begins to happen. Personal magnetism intensifies. People around notice this change without the practitioner needing to say a single word. There is a different shine in the eyes, a firmer posture, and a more striking presence. This is not mysticism, but rather a direct consequence of accumulated vital energy. When a man maintains his inner strength, his aura strengthens, making him more charismatic and influential. This is one of the reasons why historical figures who practiced retention had such a strong impact on others. This effect can be seen in a practical way in everyday life. People begin to listen more attentively when the practitioner speaks, eyes turn to him without the need to attract attention, and opportunities arise more naturally. Sexual energy, when not dissipated, is converted into a power of attraction that transcends the physical. Great spiritual leaders and ancient masters knew this and used this strength to influence and inspire multitudes. It's not just about seduction or social presence, but a magnetism that attracts good connections, prosperity, and even favorable events in life. The secret to enhancing this effect lies in the balance between energy retention and direction. Simply conserving is not enough. It is necessary to channel this strength into productive actions, inspiring projects and objectives that bring growth. Whoever learns to master this art becomes a true magnet for good opportunities and enriching experiences. But this is just the beginning, as there is an even deeper aspect that manifests itself in this journey: the activation of a higher state of consciousness, where intuition and spiritual awakening become tangible realities. As vital energy accumulates and refines, something extraordinary happens. The mind expands and perception sharpens. Men who practice retention often report a significant increase in intuition, as if they can see beyond the obvious. The brain, now operating more clearly, connects information more quickly and efficiently. This cognitive awakening isn't just a psychological effect. Research shows that retention can increase dopamine levels and improve neuroplasticity, resulting in a sharper, more creative, and resilient mind. In the spiritual field, this transformation is even more intense. Sexual energy has always been considered sacred in different traditions, and its conservation has the power to elevate consciousness to higher states. Over time, the practitioner feels a deeper connection with the creator of the universe, perceiving signs and synchronicities more easily. Meditations become deeper, dreams more vivid, and insight into one's own spiritual journey intensifies. This is not just a physical retention practice, but a true path of enlightenment that brings more peace, light, and prosperity to all areas of life. And this awakening doesn't just happen internally, it reflects on the world around. People who previously did not notice his presence now sought his guidance, attracted by the strength of someone who dominates their own energy. It's as if a new level of reality has opened up, where everything seems more connected and meaningful. But this journey doesn't end here. The true power of retention only fully manifests when this practice becomes something natural and integrated into the being. And that is exactly what happens in the next stage: mastery and the complete transformation of vital energy. When retention becomes part of a man's essence, he achieves a level of mastery over himself that few achieve. Vital energy is not only conserved, but is transmuted for contribution to all areas of life. The body becomes stronger, the mind becomes unbeatable, and the presence becomes magnetic. At this stage, retention is no longer a conscious effort, but a natural manifestation of the practitioner's new identity. He does not struggle with impulses, as he has transcended the need to indulge in ephemeral pleasures, choosing instead a path of self-sufficiency and personal power. True mastery happens when this energy manifests itself in concrete achievements. Many who reach this stage report exponential growth in their careers, projects, and personal relationships. This is because energy that was previously wasted is now used to build something meaningful. Historical figures who mastered this principle achieved extraordinary feats, not because of luck, but because they learned to use their inner strength intelligently. Uncertainties become evident for those who definitively integrate this practice into their lives. And the most impressive thing is that, upon reaching this point, the practitioner realizes that the attention was not just about sexual energy, but about total control of his reality. He is no longer a slave to the desires of his passengers, but rather the architect of his own existence. With this consolidated power, any goal becomes attainable, any obstacle becomes insignificant. But the journey doesn't end here. Now that this strength has been awakened, the question that remains is, how can you apply it to achieve your biggest dreams and completely transform your own life? Now that you know the 7 stages of semen retention, the question that remains is, are you willing to leave mediocrity and take control of your own energy? Most men remain trapped in the cycle of waste, without ever experiencing the true power that exists within them. But those who awaken to this reality discover something that changes everything. Mastery over yourself is the greatest power anyone can have. So what are you going to do with this knowledge? Will you ignore it and continue running on autopilot? Or will you apply all of this and try what few dare to try? The choice is in your hands. But remember, men who mastered this secret achieved a level of prosperity and magnetism that transformed their lives. The next one to join this elite could be you. If this content made sense to you, like this video, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. Here, you will continue learning about how to awaken your true potential and become a stronger, more balanced and prosperous human being. Now tell me, have you experienced retention before? What was most difficult for you? Leave your comment below. Your journey starts now.